So we got some new news around Bethesda and Fallout 76 involving lawsuits, the future updates of Fallout 76 have also been dated, and actually refunds and how some of you could actually get some free stuff if you bought the game in a certain time period. Also though, a quick disclaimer or shout out for myself, later today I do plan on live streaming some Red Dead Online. It did come out today, so if you guys do want to subscribe or check out in a few hours, I will hopefully have a stream going for that. So on the Fallout 76 subreddit, Bethesda has made a post detailing what the next two updates of Fallout 76 will include, and just kind of a general response to certain community members and the outcry that we have been seeing. For a little bit of context going into this, not many people expected much of an update last week because it was a holiday, that being Thanksgiving in the United States, but come Monday and the start of this week, a lot of people were hoping we'd hear something. And we did technically get something. A post asking Bethesda to kind of communicate got a lot of attention yesterday, and they responded with a post that was actually copy and pasted from another thread. That post subsequently got 5,000 downvotes, so that brings us into today with this new and improved post. They start off this post by saying they know we're angry and frustrated at the state of things right now, citing game issues themselves or actual lack of communication from Bethesda. But then they go on to say something odd, and I'm going to read this part word for word. Yesterday we posted to let you know that we're still here gathering your feedback and, more importantly, working to get info from the team we can share. We didn't want you to think the silence meant nothing was happening. We're sorry and understand this was not the right approach, and we'll work to make a better bridge between you and the dev team at Bethesda Game Studios. From this post, it almost feels like to me they didn't understand why everyone was frustrated or annoyed. I think most were happy that there was a response, they just didn't like that it wasn't a personalized response, just a copy and pasted one. I think people would like more responses exactly like the one we saw yesterday, except with custom text, not just reused text. Or even like yesterday if they said, hey, we hear you loud and clear, expect tomorrow a write-up of all the things we have coming. Outside of that, they mentioned that they're going to start getting patch notes to us a bit earlier. For example, in this post, they say the next patch is going to be on Tuesday, December 4th, but they hope to get the patch notes to us later this week on Thursday or Friday, that being the 29th or the 30th, quite a few days before the actual patch goes live. In addition, they say they plan to make articles like the one I'm about to show you on roughly a weekly basis to communicate what's coming and what they're paying attention to. So some of the changes we can expect in the December 4th update are stash limit increases. So they detail here that the stash limit in Fallout 76 will be increased from 400, which it currently is, to 600. They mention here that they know this is a somewhat conservative change, but more or less they want to test server stability going forward as a result of this. So if this one's successful and they can increase it further, perhaps we'll get even more increases to the stash limit in the coming weeks and months. Boss loot is said to be improved, that players should correctly receive 2 to 3 items after taking down a boss as according to the level. There's actually a cryolator glitch, and it's kind of just funny, so I'll read what they wrote. The duration of movement speed reduction applied by these effects have been decreased from 2 hours to 30 seconds. So that's quite a nerf to the cryolator. They say they're going to be fixing a glitch that when you die when over encumbered, you now will have options to spawn at places other than just Vault 76. And then finally, people that are stuck in power armor will hopefully be able to get out following this patch. They also cite that there'll be a variety of performance and stability improvements, balance changes, and multiple bug fixes. So even though they explicitly mentioned 5 things, there will seemingly be more changes than just those 5. But even beyond that, they actually are detailing what's going to come in the next patch, the patch after that one on December 11th, which is actually the day of all of my finals, so that should be fun. This is going to be 1 week later on the following Tuesday, so 2 weeks from today. With this update, they mentioned that PC users are going to get an FOV slider, push-to-talk, and 21.9 or ultra-wide support. We will also get the ability to respec our characters with this update, but it's not going to work in the way a lot of us probably thought. So basically they say that right now in game, after you hit level 50, you can't assign new special points, you can just pick new perk cards. Well, after this update, when you hit level 50, you could either reassign a special point, so take one from, let's say, luck and move it over to intelligence, and then also pick a perk card. I could already see how some people are going to be annoyed about this. There's some people out there that are level 120, and leveling up at that point is fairly difficult. It's going to take them a lot more time to actually respec their character, and it seems like you are very limited in how often you could do it. I think a lot of people were expecting that you would actually be able to get all of your special points back and then just redistribute them wherever you wanted to, but obviously with 50 special points, you would have to level up 50 times to technically redistribute all of them, after already being level 50. I personally kind of like the change. I feel like it locks you in mostly, but you still have some options for maybe switching things around. Once you get to level 50, maybe you realize some mistakes you made at level like 7. In the same update though, there's also going to be a change with camp placement. Right now, as you connect to a server, if your camp is in an area where there's another camp, it'll just be put back into your inventory and you can place it down for free. But with this change, when connecting to a new server, if your camp is in conflict with another camp, then it'll give you the option to actually connect to a different server. It'll alert you to this fact and allow you to not proceed. Or alternatively, you can, and it will work the way it does now. There's also going to be a new camp feature known as Bulldozer. This basically allowing you to clear out some of the random trees or brush that does kind of inhibit or maybe make it a little bit more difficult to place your camp down, maybe make it look a bit more ugly because there's plants clipping through it. I really like that change. It's super unexpected, and I think it's going to be a good addition to people that enjoy building in this game. And that's pretty much it. I really appreciate this communication from Bethesda. I feel like it's definitely another step in the right direction, but honestly, I think the next big question is going to be how many changes are we seeing with these new updates? It definitely seems like a lot of those quality of life features that many have been looking forward to are coming, but I feel like Bethesda might have a manpower issue, or they just have an issue with patching some of the existing bugs in a timely fashion. Like, certain things have been there since the first day of the beta, and they're still there over a month later. But regardless, it definitely looks good and promising. But moving on, we actually have some more news, not as positive for Bethesda. Over the past week or so, the story of people trying to refund Fallout 76 has really gained a lot more attention. It just seems like more people are trying to do it. I think this might have been somewhat spawned by the fact that the game was heavily discounted, which made a lot of users feel they unfairly paid $60 for it when a week later people are paying $35 for it. But then of course other people are citing that there's a variety of glitches and bugs present in the game, and it's not really the product they thought they were getting. As you could probably expect, most of the responses people got were a simple no. Somebody on Reddit by the name of Pickled Eyeball, nice, reached out to Bethesda support and got the response back that since he downloaded the game, he's not actually allowed to refund it. Other people looking at individual store policies to see if they have like a defective policy. Many are arguing that the game on release is defective. It's not working as intended. Well, it seems like things might actually go a step further here as a law firm has gotten involved. The law firm M&R LLP, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce their names because I will fail, are currently investigating whether or not there's a case here, seemingly wanting to go after a class action or something along those lines. So basically what's going on here, if you're not super familiar with the legal process, not that I really am either, but it's not like this law firm can just sue Bethesda. They actually, one, need to have a case, but in order to get that case, they need somebody who's a victim. So as of right now, they're actually taking inquiries from, well, everyday people. They actually have a phone number and an email that you can send if you feel like you've been wronged by Bethesda, deserved a refund after purchasing this game, and were denied one specifically. And really what they're saying right now is that Bethesda released a game that was unplayable on release. And despite this, people are unable to get refunds. So if you feel like you fit this case, I will have a link to the post and their website down below if you want to contact them. And then one final note, as I mentioned earlier, Fallout 76 was on sale for the holidays. Well, it seems like people are pretty upset about this. Specifically, one guy on Reddit, that's another name I'm not going to pronounce because I'll fail at it, actually messaged Bethesda support and was able to get 500 atoms as a result of this, since he paid $60 for the game and a week later it was on sale for significantly less than that. Obviously, at the time of recording this, most of the sales are over, so I'm not sure if you'll actually be able to get those atoms, but hey, if you want to give it a shot, I'll have a link to that post also down below. So all in all, my takeaway is why Bethesda? I was so freaking excited for Fallout 76. My channel has never had a new release since it kind of got popular in the Fallout scene. When Fallout 4 came out, I really didn't have much of an audience, and even when most of Fallout 4's DLCs came out, I didn't have a big audience. Fallout 76 was going to be this great opportunity so I could produce a lot of great content for all of you, and this game is plagued with so many freaking issues. Obviously that's super selfish, and I'm sure most people can't relate with that, but I'm just sharing my own frustration as I'm continuously covering news on a game that I wanted to succeed, that I wanted to be awesome, and yet just continues to disappoint me. Now at least Bethesda is communicating with us. I feel like that really is a step in the right direction, but at the rate they're fixing things right now, at the rate some of these patches are coming out, it just gets me way less hopeful for when this game will actually start to get a bit better. Because even after they fix all the bugs, there's a myriad of other problems with the game itself. I'll be honest, on my latest videos, I just don't want to film because I don't want to freaking play the game anymore. Granted, I am over 100 hours in, so I definitely feel like I got my money's worth, but hey, hopefully this Red Dead Online stream does well later today. But also, one other thing I actually want to touch on, in a video I posted just a couple of days ago, I actually showed off an exploit in Fallout 76. It was an infinite carry weight glitch and allowed you to have an unlimited amount of items. I shouldn't have done this, and there's a couple of reasons. First and foremost, a lot of you guys actually messaged me after the video went up and really over the next day or two that talked about how that glitch might actually be leading to server instability due to the item limit and things like that. And first and foremost, thank you to those of you who reached out. I really appreciate that. It's genuinely something I didn't think about when making that video. But then on to my next point, I really don't feel like that's okay. As of late, my channel definitely has been growing. I have a decently sized platform at this point, and I don't think making mistakes like that is acceptable. I was looking at that glitch just as a consumer, like, oh, this is useful, I should share this with others. Well, in reality, I wasn't really considering how that would impact other players. I had the evidence. Bethesda has talked about how they don't increase the stash limit due to server instability. Those dots were very easy for me to connect, yet I didn't do it, and again, that's not okay. I recognize I really messed up with this one. I've since pulled the video, I'm editing out the exploit parts, and I will put it back up after that's done. Invariably, at least one of you watching has been negatively impacted by a server crash or something like that. I have also been personally, and I'm not trying to say, oh, I didn't realize it at the time, so I shouldn't be at fault. No, like, it's my job to realize it at the time. If I'm sharing something with hundreds of thousands of people, I should be pretty well aware of what kind of impact it's going to have, especially with something like an exploit. So I do apologize for that. It's something that hopefully I will learn from and not do in the future. Actually think more about what I say in my videos and what kind of impact it's going to have. I know a couple of other people mentioned me, they're trying to get me banned for this, and if I get banned, then I probably deserved it. I shouldn't have shared an exploit, I messed up, and I'll live with the consequences of that. But either way, it's pretty much going to wrap it up for this one. As always, again, I thank you all for watching. I do hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.
Like nothing else I'd ever done.